I don't believe in divorce, even though I've been divorced.
Yes.
And it doesn't mean I will judge people, but I just know that life happens. Because religion is more dangerous than the devil. You see, when you practice Christianity as religion, you're going to be a pawn in the hands of charlatans behind the pulpit. When you practice Christianity as religion, you're going to be a victim of the myopic, limited, uninformed, unexposed interpretation of scriptures of the people you listen to. They will tell you one thing today, tomorrow they will say, oh, God has spoken to me, I've changed my mind. But what of all the people you've told what you told? So, and a lot of pastors too don't, like I always say this, to be a lawyer, you go to school, graduate, go to law school, then you continue to get recertified. To be a doctor, you go to school, then you do medical school, housemanship, you continue to be certified. To be a pastor, all you need is to say you heard the voice.
Voice of God.
That only you heard, that nobody else heard. And people's destiny are your hand. And over 80% of pastors did not go to Bible school.
Yes. Hi there, everybody. My name is Dr. Kingsley Okonkwo, and I'm happy to see you on our page. It's been a minute. Good to see all of you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, today again, we're delving into one of those very, very important topics. We're talking about 7 things they don't tell you about divorce. Now, before we go into today's topic, and who I have here, he needs no introduction. We've done a blockbuster YouTube interview last year or so, or some time ago, that really broke the internet because of the level of depth, the level of discovery, and revelation that was in that YouTube video on divorce. We did the topic, is divorce a sin? Then we did how my first marriage crashed. Then we did how I bounced back from a divorce. It was a blockbuster. It really rocked the internet. And we have him here again. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome with me, Dr. Olamide Emmanuel.
Salute.
Welcome,
my
sir.
brother. How you doing now?
Very well, very well.
Thank God.
Thank you for coming out.
Thank God for his grace and mercy. Thank God, say God no be man. No.
That is amazing. So, if you've not watched those 3 episodes, you need to watch them. You need to just go watch them. Trust me, they broke the internet, and there was so much revelation, so much depth. And I'm going to ask him the impact of it. But before we go that, I want to ask him one question first, because I still saw a comment today, a fresh comment today, that said both of us support divorce. Because of that, those YouTube videos we put up, that we support divorce. So answer for yourself now. Emoji, do you support divorce?
We don't support divorce. You see, anyone that has made that statement has not watched the entire video. If you when the video came out, there were a lot of reactions, but for me it was like 80-20. The reaction was more positive than negative. And when people called me then, I said, have you watched the entire? Because they saw the clips. I know with this clickbait generation, all they want to see is and they run with the. So I said, when they watched the 3 parts, oops. Because it was so clear. We didn't plan it that way.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, when I sat down, I had to watch it with my wife and my boy, and it was like, wow, we went this far. It was like the Holy Ghost took control of that.
Yes.
I think it was just, it took a while. I said, look,
you're not ready to go that deep.
Something that I've learned. So because for 17 years, I didn't say anything.
Yes.
I kept going, but I had to pray about it. You kept talking with that. I said, look, my brother, if I have to do this thing, there's no way I can be doing it without being real. Yes. I have to now talk about what I've never spoken about. And I was not planning to do because of the kids, but they're adults, of course.
Yes.
They're adults. So I just felt, look, let me pray about it. And when I had the release that this is the right time and this is the right platform, that's why I did it. But my brother, calls, apologies, I have voice notes, text message from pastors who we are sorry. Oh, we didn't know, you didn't say anything.
What were they apologizing about?
Apologizing for judging me wrongly. Apologizing for not even knowing the truth, but just running with the normal narratives. The normal narrative is, these pastors.
Yes.
They will just divorce their wife, marry their secretary. Divorce their wife, marry. So they just, and so if one of them said, anytime he sees me preaching and I'm talking integrity, it's like, what's integrity? You want integrity? But now that he himself has now realized that he was deceived, that it was because when God told me, keep quiet, I'll fight for you, I kept quiet. I never said anything. Even members of my church,
I never heard the story.
When they were like, you mean this happened? People don't know. I didn't say anything. So it was like, even my PA that was there that day was crying. Wow. When we go into the car, I said, that's it. I'm working with you, all these things. I didn't even know that, you mean you are carrying this and you are still doing all this on the I hope this is the, So when they all say, that thank God, because the level of people who meet me, you set us free, you delivered us. In fact, because the hypocrisy of the church is on another level. And people need authentic leadership. And that's why we are losing. Look at somebody saying, you see, you'll be shocked that the person saying that, you may discover that the person is a divorcee. Maybe they are struggling with their own personal trauma and how to interpret their reality. But religion, because religion is very terrible. I've said it over and over again, religion is more dangerous than the devil. You see, when you practice Christianity as a religion, you are going to be a pawn in the hands of charlatans behind the pulpit. When you practice Christianity as a religion, you're going to be a victim of the myopic, limited, uninformed, unexposed interpretation of scriptures of the people you listen to. They will tell you one thing today, tomorrow they will say, oh, God has spoken to me, I've changed my mind. But what of all the people you've told what you told? So, and a lot of pastors too don't, like I always say this, to be a lawyer, you go to school, graduate, go to law school, then you continue to get recertified. To be a doctor, you go to school, then you do medical school, housemanship, you continue to be certified. To be a pastor, all you need is to say you heard the voice
of God.
That only you heard, that nobody has heard. And people's destiny are your hand. And over 80% of pastors did not go to Bible school. So they are not even theologically sound. They are not, so they just carry personal revelation, turn it to a doctrine, personal experience, turn it to a doctrine. So when they even see, you see, when you know the truth, it's easy to detect a lie. But when lie is perpetuated over and over again, it becomes your truth. And because a lot of people don't also understand the hypocrisy of the church, they get into this victim level. And I tell people, you don't believe in miracles, you need one. And people will do one thing, come to the pulpit and preach another thing. But I believe, God hates divorce, but he does not hate the divorcee. The divorce is not something that anybody wake up one day and say, let me go and get married so that in 5 years time I'll just divorce. No. But life happens.
Because this is somebody you're sharing your whole life with, probably have kids together with.
Oh my God.
So there's no easy divorce.
There's none. And that's why there are things that they don't tell you.
About divorce.
So if you think it's palatable, don't try it.
Before we go further, please, if you are watching, after the impact of the last 3 videos we did, please everybody go and watch that video. All right. There was part 1, part 2, part 3 because of how intense it was. After that, we got a lot of calls and messages, and you also mentioned that you got a lot as well.
People wanted premarital counseling.
Yes, people wanted.
Premarital counseling. People are married. They say, okay, we are ready to work on it. Can we go through a counseling session? So it costs money.
Yes,
it costs
and there were even those that also
and those that are divorced
already. That's
okay. What do I now do? Can I remarry and all those stuff? So
and because the church largely focuses on singles and married, but we don't do so much. I know we do some once in a while, but we don't do so much for people that are single after married. All right. So there's singles, there's married, there's no single after married, because there's some people that are now single after marriage, either by death or by divorce. They're now single again, after marriage. We need to also provide ministry for them. So we have set up part of our ministry that does counseling. We've set up a proper divorce arm. So if you need that, please reach out. These counselors, some of them are divorced, some are not, but they are learned, they're experienced, some have legal background as well. So they are learned in the area of divorce. So if you are considering divorce, they can advise you, help you really ascertain if that is the best move. Because sometimes some people have jumped ship and thought it was easier. They were jumping for a frying pan.
The grass is not green on the other side, though. If you water your own. So I say to people, if you don't have what you love what you have.
Yes. So they will help you make sure the divorce you're thinking about, is that the best thing for you? Then if you're already divorced, they will also help you navigate, because that's an experience by itself that most people don't know how to navigate. Then if you're also thinking of remarrying as a divorcee, you need to also prepare. Then if you're thinking of marrying someone that is divorced. Because in every divorce case, sometimes the 2 people were wrong or bad. Sometimes the 2 people might even be good and just lack knowledge. But sometimes there's one bad person that corrupted the union. And when you want to marry a divorce, you need to be sure that the person,
not the bad person.
Not the bad person you are choosing.
The bad person, they have learned their lesson, they have changed.
Because if not, they will just reproduce
after their kind.
Yes, because the divorce rate among divorcees is higher than the normal marriage. So because some of them are just carrying the problem to another marriage instead of actually learning the lesson. So this divorce department we have will help you process if I should even divorce at all, if I should go back to my my marriage. Because some marriages are divorced, I need to come back. If I one of my guys out here in Houston, we're planning to shoot with his wife. I call the series I'm doing "My Divorce Failed, but My Marriage Worked." So we're looking at people that have divorced and came back together. I have one of them even right here in the audience with me as well. So we're going to do that. Just help make sure people are getting help. And as we travel around the world, we do Q&A. People ask me questions from the Slido or from the audience. But every time at the end, people come privately. People that are divorced, because they couldn't ask their question publicly and say, I'm divorced, or I'm planning to divorce, or I've just divorced. What do I do? So we found out there was a demand as well for people, in that space to receive your ministry, as well. So before we go into today's topic, just for the records, do you support divorce?
No, I don't. I don't, because I believe that the ideal for anyone is to find love and enjoy that love in their lifetime. But when life happens.
Yeah.
So I don't believe that because you have divorced, then you have missed the purpose of God for your life, or you will not fulfill the purpose of God for your life. Life happens. So I don't believe in divorce. I don't believe that people should divorce. I believe that there is no problem that cannot be solved, but it takes two. Only one person cannot make marriage work. And I've said this over and over again. There is no marriage that has ended in divorce that did not have a chance to survive if the two people were willing to work on it. And there's no marriage that is doing well today that did not have a chance to break, except for the fact that the two people decided to work on it. So I've been in meetings to speak, friends doing 25, 45 years. I've even done 50-year wedding anniversary where I'm the speaker. And I know the friend that is doing 50 years wedding anniversary. I know the story. There are many ahead, but you see, it's like I said to people, it's like a cake. When you are eating the cake, is sweet, but what makes up the cake? Raw egg, raw flour, raw sugar. But when they come together, so when you see 50 years, it's 50 years of forgiveness, forbearance, endurance, sometimes separation and return. But you don't have all those because people don't share all those things. They just package everything and say, they just give the testimony. God did this. I got run out. And then they won't tell you all the other things. So I don't believe in divorce, even though I've been divorced. And it doesn't mean I will judge people, but I just know that life happens. Because as a pastor, last year I celebrated 35 years in full-time ministry. In 36 years of being in ministry, I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. And like we said, people should just go and watch this. It was really very balanced. Watching it back by myself, I'm like, wow, this thing really covered a lot of ground.
It was a divinely orchestrated thing. So for those that will still come in the comment section and say, these two pastors are not really men of God, I still got that chance coming today.
That way you don't go gather lawyer and say, see, you have no created lawyer to be helping people to live their marriage.
You made a statement that people don't know. They don't know the importance of a miracle until they need it. Sometimes you don't know the purpose of divorce. It was even God, even though it was not God's original plan, but it was God that still created divorce. Because some people were being oppressed. So you need to understand the origin of some of these things. All right. It's not men that came up with divorce, but people were being oppressed in marriage. And God said, look, it's better to let this person go into their freedom. God hates divorce, but God hates oppression. God hates depression.
He hates lies.
He hates lies. He hates many things. All right. So he hates violence. It's there. So we cannot support divorce. It makes no sense. My whole ministry is built on marriage. So if I believe in divorce, then I must be one of the biggest fools in the world. It makes no sense. So we definitely do not support divorce. However, we know it does happen. We know there are times that is beyond your control, and it does happen, and people still need support and counsel, while they go there. So God's perfect will is, of course, for people to live together. Same with God's perfect will is for people to walk in divine health. But people will get sick. That's the reality of life. All right. So please, let's be clear on that before we go into today's. We've spent quite a long time on the intro.
Yes, to help the skeptics and help the religious mindset.
Yes, we've got a lot of, is it flashback they call it, or pushback? That these two men of God, they are not really men of God. In fact, yours was worse than my own. They said, Pastor Kingsley was even balancing it. But Pastor Olamide Emmanuel, he believed that, you go and watch the full story. It was a moment of vulnerability for him. Like he mentioned, most people were shocked when they heard the full story. The impact was all over the world, really. We got feedback from everywhere.
All over the world.
People that were healed because they've gone through something like that. The church, ostracized them.
Do you know what I went to? Those, wisdom for singles now. It was like...
stadiums.
Everybody said, nobody wants to... Physician, heal thyself.
Yes, nobody wants to touch you. The church does that. They will just
put everywhere dry up. Churches that I bought land for. People I bought equipment for that I was preaching every year. The old door just shut down. Bam. It's as if your own don't finish. So you are not God. God does not need people's approval.
Except you're not really a human, or you don't even have the spirit of God. You can't watch those 3 videos and what you would think is that this man is just... You need to first sympathize with what has happened, what he has been through. If you listen well, you will see what happened first.
Do you know that some of the people that were against me then, some of them have divorced?
You see,
I didn't even know. They were now calling me, brother. I faced my own no. They were now saying, so he said, I said, but you didn't say I can't call you when I've judged you before. And now realize that, hey, I don't say my own, they wait for me in front.
Yes.
But it is well.
But let's so go and watch, basically. So let's get to today, Emoji. What are 7 things they don't tell us about first?
Number 1, it leaves a scar. It leaves a scar. You see, this is my finger here. You can see this scar here. I was not yet 10 years old when I fell by the side of our house in the place, and then bottle, caught this hand, and it had to be stitched.
Wow.
So I was not 10 years. So this scar has been there for over 40 years.
Wow.
Over 40 years, and I'm still looking at it in my hand
still
right
there.
now. So the same way you have a physical scar, when there's a wound, when there's a divorce, there's a scar. The scar is there because whether you like it or not, it's like a woman that did D and C.
Yes.
Even though the wound is healed, or CS or whatever, it's healed, the scar is there. So that's the way it is. So many times people are carrying that scar because there's something that happened contrary to your plan and your expectation, contrary to, because nobody goes to the wedding day. I tell people, you meet someone, you go through the process, and then you go to the altar and say, I do. The same two people that said I do, we end up in the court and say irreconcilable difference. There are no irreconcilable difference, only irreconcilable people.
Yes.
It's because you are not willing to pay the price, and only one person cannot make it work. So there's that scar. That's number one. So they don't tell you, but the scar is there. So it's like, I don't know if to use this example, but I've sat down with a lot of people that are, plus size, and no matter how much they try to prove that I'm okay with my size, I'm okay, they are not really okay. Sometimes like you can't be okay with this. So a few years down the line, they will now begin to tell you their story. I did this, but you were telling us you were okay. So there is a scar, and people need to understand that. You see, a woman gets pregnant, gives birth to a child. The experience she goes through, no man can explain it. No matter the revelation you are, because you have not gone through it.
Yeah.
When Jesus spoke to Peter, he said, Peter, there is an experience you will go through. He said, Satan has desired to sift you like a wheat. He said, but when you are converted, strengthen your brethren. Going through divorce leaves a scar that gives you the opportunity to help other people not to be scarred. And so your misery becomes a ministry. It becomes something that you can now use to help people to say, don't go that route, or this is the way to. So that's number one. It leaves a scar. And many times people don't talk about that. Number two, it leaves a stigma. Till tomorrow, there are people that no matter what you say,
yes,
Olamide Emmanuel is a persona non grata.
Yes, he's not a man of God.
No matter what you say, let him raise the dead. Forget it.
Yes.
I love that guy. I love his message, but that divorce thing, there's no way anybody can explain to me. People tell me, man of God, I appreciate you, but that thing, because I can't tell you this. Look, one of my friends called me, and he said somebody called him that he didn't know that. He said, my brother, you didn't tell me you are doing this thing now. After 17 years, you did. He said, who is this Kingsley guy? What did he do to convince you to talk that people have been calling me in London? He said, I had to go and watch it. He said, because I didn't know. He said, then when the people now were calling, he said, no, have you said now? He said, but you didn't even tell them that all the things you said that they're shouting. You didn't say, say now only Islam. You never thought, I said, no, we can't go there.
Go to that deep.
Yeah. So am I going to expose everything to you? So people don't understand things. So it leaves a scar, it leaves a stigma. So the stigma is still there. Some people till tomorrow they will go to, I don't go to a church where the pastor has divorced and remarried.
Yes.
There are people, one of my pastors did not greet my wife.
Yes,
for 14 years.
Wow.
He has never one day gone to say happy wedding anniversary.
Wow.
One of my top guys. And I called her, I said, my wife will say, this guy, I greet him, he doesn't greet me, I don't understand.
Wow.
My baby, it's like, and when I called him, he said, it's true. That I don't have any problem, but that, once somebody has divorced and remarried, I don't like celebrating remarriage. So it's not about you. I honor you, I honor your wife, but I'm telling you, to say happy wedding anniversary to my wife, it's like he's endorsing divorce.
In his own books.
A great man of God.
In his own books, this
guy is a solid man of God on all levels. But you can see what it's a software. Once it's locked in. He couldn't just understand that. How do you say you honor a man and you're not greeting the wife? Now me divorce, my wife no divorce now.
Yes.
It is me that divorced and married. That's our own first marriage. And yet, so you have the stigma. So even you won't marry divorcee, it's part of what you will have to be ready to carry the stigma, because some people will believe that, now you destroyed the marriage.
Yes,
you are the one that prayed against the marriage. There are all kinds of things that when people talk like this, you're like, where did your mind come up with this kind of script? So there will be that stigma that will be there. So some people just believe that you are not a man of God. Some people believe there's no message you can preach. Some people just believe that you cannot be trusted. Some people just, there are all kinds of things are there. So you have to face it. There are some people that have now, after that time, that's when they now started inviting me back.
Wow.
After the interview, say, man, God, you need to come back. Oh, we need you. I've been seeing you going up and up. I say, I wish I can invite this man, but that thing. But now they are now wanting to invite me back. I'm like, hello. So that stigma is one thing they don't tell you. You carry the stigma, everywhere you go. There will be people that will still be looking at you, that will still be judging you, that will never accept you. So just accept yourself because God has accepted you and focus on your focus and move on with your life and destiny. And there's also good. Number 3, they don't tell you that you will have to carry some baggages for the rest of your life. Do you know that up until, I think even January this year, January, I went to up until January this year, I met someone that was not even aware of anything. I was still asking, he's asking of my
17 years after.
No, we're talking like 2005. That's 20 years after.
20 years after. Somebody was asking you of your...
Say, that you have moved from that place that I used to. I just kept quiet. I say, it is well. God is in control. What do you want to start saying? That's a baggage you are still carrying.
Yes.
There are people that, I don't know if I said it, like, I have books. I had to lose books worth over 10 million naira that still has the name of your, and the video and the picture of my ex, and because my books are all over the world. So if somebody called me from Arkansas, you say, Pastor, your books are here, 3 Ghana must go of books. By the time I say, show me the book, I say, just give it away to anybody you want to, because it's so there is a baggage you still have to carry, because if you now say, okay, you are remarried, maybe you now marry another divorcee, or that one to come with children, there will be blended family. You have to carry that baggage. Now you have 2 children from this one, children from this one. It's a baggage. It's a baggage that you have to deal with. And sometimes the baggage is, a major continual reminder of this happened, that happened. So when you think, we are good, somebody will ask you a question or say something that will take you back again. You're like, hey, oh God, now wow. So this is not the end. So but most of the time people don't see all that. And that's why I tell people, don't just jump out there thinking, because a lot of people, marriage is sacred. And it's not an institution that was established by your culture or your desire. It was God that instituted it. And instituted it for a divine purpose. So it's not something you just enter into lightly and jump in and jump out. Because the world we live in today, people have tried to bring marriage into a place of deception. They now talk, marriage is a scam. And because it's only the negative testimonials that people see. And especially in the days of social media, even those that are doing well, they don't want to talk about because as if you talk well now, some people will now be hiring your husband, hiring your wife, and you have all this kind of funny thinking that people have. So those are things that I feel that people should note. So number 4, it leaves you to have to retell your story over and over again. It's a baggage. You have to keep retelling this, because there are people that did not know anything until that video came out. So there are people I've been preaching for like 15 years.
Wow.
And every year I go there. So this, you were married before? We didn't know. We just saw this. So what's now happened to your first one? So where are the children? You have to start telling the story. Because there are some people you cannot just say it as well. You have now developed a covenant relationship with them. There are people that, if one of my friends, my covenant friend, he now had to come. He knows about it, but the children did not know. And the children have known me for 17 years. Without knowing that there was any. So they are now like, you mean your friend? It was even the children that went to tell him. That this your friend. Are you sure he's a Nigerian? That this guy is like an American. That he's just too vulnerable. Pastors are not this vulnerable. That this is amazing. This is you mean. So we have to now do another meeting. He said the children want to see me. They will say, hey. So you have to be retelling stories. You have to be retelling stories. You have to be retelling stories upon stories upon stories. Even this last month, we are doing a remodeling in our house, because my birthday is coming up. So we celebrate birthday every 5 years in my family. So my wife's milestone birthday is this year, 5 years. Mine is 5 years this year. So we are doing remodeling in the house. By doing remodeling, there are pictures of my children. So the event plan, the designer now came and said, okay, since we have my boy's picture, that this one, where is their new pictures to now arrange? We have to start. He say, okay, no, actually those ones are not available. He said, what happened? Let them come, let's do photo shoot. I don't know where they are. I don't have contact. So how do you start telling them? So you have to be retelling stories that it's like, this is not the end. Will I have to be doing this for the rest of my life? But that's what you face for experiencing that. So it's not palatable thing. Then number 5, I'm now going, I've listed all that to now end up with the positive aspects to help people understand this. Now, the 5th thing they don't tell you is that divorce is not a death sentence. People make you think that once you are divorced, your own don't finish, but it's my own finish. It's not finished. I'm even the best years of my life, the best season of my life right now. When God wanted to prove himself as God, he blessed me with an amazing wife, a virgin, a young girl, amazing woman of God, and I'm balling, my brother. I'm just balling, enjoying life. Sometimes I'm wondering myself, what did I do today deserve this kind of babe? 5 babe, solid woman of God. The babe don't grow, don't become anointed the flow for a body like this. The world has not seen my wife. I'm telling you, when she preaches healing, miracle, the babe don't enter that realm now. Even we went the house with the bow for the anointing. I say, God, now me you bless like this. So it's not a death sentence. Because for some people, they thought that's the end of your story. Some people wrote me off, wrote off my ministry, wrote off my destiny. But God said no. Mercy said no. I'm not going to let you go. I'm not going to let you slip away. You don't have to be afraid. Mercy said no. Sin will never take control. This is about our life. Life and death stood face to face. Darkness tried to steal my heart away. But thank you, Jesus. Mercy said no. So mercy said no. So it's not a death sentence. So if you're listening to us right now, you are divorced, it has happened. Yesterday ended last night.
Oh,
the
glory
past
to God.
is in the tomb. The future is in the womb. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is your glory. So make sure that you realize that, number 1, if you discover that you did anything wrong, repent, face God, ask for forgiveness. If you did anything wrong against your ex, call, apologize, ask for forgiveness, make amends, make restitution, and move on with your life. Everybody deserves to be happy. Everybody deserves to have joy and peace, and you will find love again. So it's not a death sentence. Don't kill your destiny. Because people thought I would stop preaching about marriage.
Wow.
They thought,
but a lot of people had to stop preaching about marriage when they're all married.
Why would I stop preaching the truth? They thought I would stop preaching about marriage. Now, see, let me give you, Jesus. When we had, we went through the process of, stakeholder management and crisis management, when it now became the time when we needed to inform the entire workforce, I told them everything. I said, these are the entire truths. These are phone number. Go and verify if anything I've said is wrong. So, but I will not allow any one of you to suffer because of my personal struggle. So if any one of you is willing to go, I will understand. If you cannot sit under a divorcee, I will understand, because it means that somewhere in the future there will be remarriage. I don't know yet, but I'm still young. So that means, so you better leave now. As a matter of fact, my lawyer, we're going to site maybe a few days after that discussion in church. So I now turn to, I say, the law. So how far now? Now don't meet for the family. Are you leaving us so that I will know? Will you still be my lawyer? Because it's my business. Will you still be my lawyer so that even if you leave church, let me know? He said, Pastor, we're not going anywhere. That he is a pastor's child. He's a PK, the wife. So there are people that came from. He said, I was afraid that what would my wife say? So when we got to him, I said, baby, sit down. Pastor said we should go and pray. So what? He said, no, we're not going anywhere. He said, no, we're not going anywhere. He said, have you not noticed that since this man divorced? I didn't even notice that. That was when I realized it. He said, have you known that since this man divorced, he has never one day come to the pulpit to speak evil of his ex?
Wow.
He has never one day come to the pulpit to support divorce or try to use his personal experience to change
to justify just divorce.
He has never one day stopped preaching on marriage. He said, keeps preaching on marriage, keeps telling us the truth. I'm not your sample. I'm not your template. Jesus is your template. Follow me as I follow Jesus. He said, then he started praying one prayer. He says, have you noticed? I didn't know. He said, since the day that thing happened, he has added a prayer to his prayer. Say, where I have failed, you will not fail. I didn't even know I was praying that prayer.
Wow.
He said, you say, my wife told me, go and watch every time he prays for us. He said, that is a good man. That's the kind of man I want to follow. That I'm not going anywhere. They are still in church.
Wow.
So people are not foolish. Except people just want to be just funny. Yes. So it's not a death sentence. It has happened. Move on with your life, but make sure you do the needful. Don't just go and say, "Oh, we fall down and we get up." No, don't do all those nonsense. No. Make sure that you have really done what needs to be done, and you move on. It is not the end of your story. It is not the end of your purpose. It is not the end of your joy, because a lot of people, because I tell people, God may forgive you, but have you forgiven yourself? So sometimes people are the one that now say, no, I've decided I'm not doing this thing again. Let me close this.
I'm not going to marry again.
I'm not doing marriage. I'm not doing this again. It's not the end of your purpose. It's not the end of your story. It's not the end of your joy. Sometimes it's the bend. It's not the end. And when you look back at, the life of great people, it may not be marriage. It may be other things. But you realize that there are people that have gone through things that if they have allowed what they went through to bury them, you will not be seeing them today. Generals are known by their scars.
Yes.
And it's very, very important for us to know that if your destiny is great, you go through the pits. Prophets in training. You will go through a lot to be able to get to where you need to get. So don't see it as the end of your story. It's not the end of your story. It's not the end of your purpose. And it's not the end of your joy. There are people out there that will still bring you joy. Now I look at my boy and I'm like, wow. It's like God the boy just gives me joy.
Wow.
It's just like, wow. So I can have a family again where I can be happy. I can know anytime when you hear daddy, you like that daddy, wow, I'm a daddy. Somebody calls me daddy. People think that because you're a man of God, where are you human being? I'm a man.
Yes.
I need to get home and meet a woman that will hug me, rub my head, rub my stomach, feed me, give me good sex, enjoy life. Yes. I need children that will say, oh, welcome daddy, oh daddy, this is my homework, daddy, I look at this. Everybody. So it's not the end of your joy. It's not the end of your peace. It's not the end of your story. It's not the end of your purpose. Very, very important. And then number 7, it is not the unpardonable sin. It is not the unpardonable sin. So when people look at divorce, they want you to feel as if this one, even as if they are the one that hold the key of eternity. They are the assistant God.
Yes.
Vice Holy Ghost.
Yes.
So, but I need to let everyone know that it is not the unpardonable sin. That's why we try to settle that is even a sin at all.
Yes.
Talk less of being an unpardonable sin. And when we look at it from this, so these things they don't tell you, but we are telling you now so that wherever you stand on the pendulum, pray that you never have to go through it. Pray that your children will never have to go through it. Pray and act in such a way that you will not sow a seed that will produce an harvest in your own life that you will regret later. Because there are people that, even though it was not part of what was planned for them, they use their mouth, their hand to now create the problem for themselves by judging people unjustly. And you find that sometimes a lot of people, what they fight and what they argue and what they curse ends up becoming their cause. So we need to be very, very careful of that. So it is well.
Wow. This is very, very powerful. It's not a death sentence. It's not the unpardonable sin.
It's not.
There's still life after divorce.
Yeah, there is.
There's life after divorce. So it might be a bend, but it's not the end. Oh, this is powerful. So please, guys, this is so. Share this video. Like I said earlier, in our travels, I've seen that there's a large number of people covertly in churches that are in these situations, either divorced, about to divorce, experiencing divorce, about to marry a divorcee. Because the more people are divorced, the more they want to remarry. So a lot of single people today are having to marry a divorcee. So it's better we equip them, better we minister to them. In fact, and that's what we're going to discuss in the next video.
Yeah.
To see 7 ways to know if you are healed.
If you are healed before you deal.
Because some people think, oh, this one just failed, I'm going to jump to the next one.
No.
There are things to do, there are things to check.
Your next will suffer for the sins of your ex.